The book Cancer Schmancer became the movement Cancer Schmancer, and we transform patients into medical consumers. The very word patient implies passivity. Take control of your body. When the doctor calls and tells you have cancer, at the end of the day, he goes home and eats dinner with his family. You go home and eat your heart out with yours. So whose life is it? It's yours. Take control of it. Learn what the early warning whispers are and the tests that are available, because they may not even be on the menu at the doctor's office. Doctors are bludgeoned by big business health insurance to go the least expensive route of diagnostic testing, and most of them subscribe to the philosophy, if you hear hooves galloping, don't look for zebra, it's probably a horse. So you may be a zebra that's slipping through the cracks every step of the way, as I was. And a lot of women's cancer, and particularly gynecologic cancer, mimics at its earliest and most curable stage more benign problems. So for example, when I meet a woman and she says, I was just diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, I say, you know what, honey, I hope that's what you've got. But for a moment, step away from your gastroenterologist, go to your gynecologist and rule out ovarian cancer, because at ovarian cancer's earliest and most curable stage, it mimics identically IBS. And even for my cancer, they said I was perimenopausal. Why? Because most women that get uterine cancer are either obese or postmenopausal, but 25% are young and thin, as I was. So that's 1 out of 4 women. To me, that shouldn't be ignored then. But doctor number 1 said I was too young for an endometrial biopsy or a DNC, which would have conclusively diagnosed me, even though I had the exact symptoms of uterine cancer. Because I was young and thin, they said, it's got to be perimenopause. Had I known then what I know now, it wouldn't have taken me so long to get a proper diagnosis. But by the grace of God, because it happens to be a very slow-growing cancer, I was still in stage 1. And stage 1 is the cure. Catch it on arrival, 95% survival. So that's, I started to think, why isn't everybody being diagnosed in stage 1? The reason why we lose loved ones to cancer is almost always due to late-stage diagnosis. And that's because we're not recognizing the early warning whispers. At that stage, it's the easiest to ignore. It's the easiest to say, oh, I'm too busy, it's probably nothing. But what we have to re-educate ourselves and reprogram ourselves is to say, this could be nothing, but God forbid it's something. I must find it in its whisper stage.